Order. Christine Archer is here tonight, and she's going to say our prayer, so if we could all stand.
Lord, we know that you're with us in this room and in this place. We do pray for special healing for the city of Fairview and for special blessings on Mayor Rainey. We continue to pray for healing of divisions in our entire country and for wisdom, compassion, and justice in all of our governmental officials, including this very special commission. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 4, approval of agenda and executive session announcements.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Johnson, forgive me.
Commissioner Lucas,
Aye.
Commissioner Dawson,
Aye.
Commissioner Burks,
Aye.
Mayor Rainey.
Aye. Public hearings, we have none. Citizen comments?
There are none tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. Public announcements, awards and recognitions, we have none. Staff comments, Mr. Collins.
Yes, Mayor. Just want to do a quick overview of the election process so citizens are fully aware again. Obviously, Election Day is fast approaching. We've had some changes as it regards our elections. I just want to make sure everyone understands, again, the process. For the city's elections for city commission that we'll have in November, there are 2 races. In that race, or in one of the races, there are 2 candidates for a 2-year seat. So when voters go to the polls, they will vote for one of those 2 candidates on that ballot. They should not vote for 2 candidates. They should only vote for one. The highest vote getter on the ballot with 2 candidates will win that seat on the city commission for 2 years. The other ballot contains 6 names. Election 2 contains 6 names. The highest vote getter will be seated to a 4-year term. The second highest vote getter will be seated to a 4-year term. The third highest vote getter will be seated to a 2-year term. With that, the question has been asked, what happens when then Commissioner, now Mayor Rainey, remains on that ballot? Why? And what happens if she should win the city commission seat? By the city's charter, the vice mayor becomes mayor, but the mayor's seat becomes vacant, which obviously took place this week. Mayor Rainey cannot remove herself as a candidate for commission, not because of the city's decided that she cannot, or because she cannot decide that she didn't want to, but the election law mandates that she remain on the ballot. The time for her to remove her name has passed. So if Ms. Rainey were to receive votes where she was either the first, second, or third highest vote getter, she would win a seat on the Board of Commissioners. If she were to vacate that seat, and I believe she's indicated that she would, then the city would be required to hold a special election for the seat that she vacated. That would look like this. Let's assume that Ms. Rainey is the highest vote getter. She vacates that seat. There's no waterfall effect. The second highest vote getter does then not move up a spot, and the third highest vote getter does not move up a spot. The third highest vote getter would still be seated to a 2-year term. The second highest vote getter would be seated to a 4-year term, and a special election would be held for the remaining 4-year term. There's no opportunity for Ms. Rainey to remove herself, be voted, vacate the seat, and the next highest vote getter get a seat. So the consideration is just to remind everyone of that fact. I'm sure Mayor Rainey will speak in just a moment on her intention for that, but it should be noted that that will be the process as we go through. I hope I haven't muddled it by the explanation of that. Obviously, things have gotten a little more complicated. I'm sure that I did in some way, but that's okay. So that's the first thing I had for you tonight. I'll be glad to answer any questions regarding that. The second matter I want to discuss with you tonight is the social media chatter, if I can call it that, regarding the city's denial of the Veterans Day Parade permit for this year. I'd like to call your attention to a couple of facts for that. First is the fact that the city staff is fairly limited. We have 21 police officers total, 18 firefighters, and we have to ensure that we have coverage not just for special events, but for the operations of the city 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with that limited number of staff. The reasoning behind the city's denial or non-approval of that parade permit for the Veterans Day Parade is simply because we cannot guarantee, due to COVID-19, we cannot guarantee adequate staffing for extracurricular events for any date in the future. The opportunity for city employees, multiple city employees, through our police, public works, or any other department is severely hampered, as is everyone else, by the risk that if we were to plan an event, particularly an event that requires traffic stop, traffic direction, traffic control, potential EMS response, and we were to have a last-minute spread, outbreak of COVID-19 such that we couldn't cover the event, then we've put the community at risk. In my estimation, we just have to err on side of caution, or on the side of caution, and not overextend ourselves such that we could cause a public risk or public harm for our failure to plan properly by allowing such an event. It's just that simple. There's been some criticism of the city for not allowing the event. I would remind all of you that the event also did not take place last year, and that was at the request of the organizers, not at the direction of the city. We work with the organizers. We want to make sure that we're providing the events that we can, but much like they couldn't make the event take place last year for circumstances outside of our control, we can't make that event take place this year for circumstances outside of our control. I'd also remind you and the public that the same holds true for the homecoming parade, which would have taken place tomorrow, the Christmas parade that obviously would have taken place in a couple of weeks. There's no difference between those events. With all of those events, our paramount concern is our ability to ensure public safety throughout the event and everything that happens outside of the event. So that's our explanation for why that permit was denied. I'll be glad to answer any questions you or anyone else may have on that, but that's how we arrived at where we were, and I appreciate everyone's consideration of that discussion. That's all I have for you tonight.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Consent agenda, item 9.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Johnson?
Commissioner Lucas?
Aye.
Commissioner Dawson?
Aye.
Commissioner Burks?
Aye.
Mayor Rainey?
Aye. Item B, Commissioner Burks, will you do the honors?
A or B, Mayor?
B, did I say A? Oh, let's do A. I'm so sorry. Minutes from the October 2020 meeting, approval? Oh, I don't have to do that. I'm so sorry. This is my first time. I'll get better. So are we ready to go to old business? Is that what I presume at this point in time? 10A, motion to reconsider Resolution 1320. Commissioner Burks?
Madam Mayor, I was asked to put Resolution 13-20 back on the agenda. I have no preference for it one way or the other, but I was happy to put it back on if this board would like to reconsider it. Based upon that, I would make a motion. Well, let me strike that. I would open it for discussion.
Okay, item open for discussion. Is there any discussion?
Mayor, just as a point of reference,
Thank you.
so everyone will understand, in any opportunity for this board to reconsider item 10B, there would have to be a motion to reconsider and a second, and then a vote, and then that item would simply be motion to reconsider the item 10B. Because of the way the vote for item 10B fell in the past, Commissioner Dawson is exempt from offering a motion in the matter of 10A. So a motion to reconsider 10A would have to come from Mayor Rainey, Commissioner Lucas, or Commissioner Burks. Commissioner Dawson could then second that motion, if in fact one exists, but only those three members can offer the motion, or commotion, can offer the motion, and Commissioner Dawson would then be eligible to participate in the votes after that took place.
So we need a motion now to reconsider? Is that that's a question?
The appropriate motion, if it's the pleasure of either one of the three to do so, would be offer a motion to reconsider 1320.
Okay.
And at that point, if it passes, then we would open it up for discussion.
That's correct. Then item 10B would be eligible for discussion.
Okay. I would make a motion to reconsider Resolution 13-20.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, there's been a first and a second. Ms. Johnson?
Commissioner Burks,
Aye.
Commissioner Dawson,
Aye.
Commissioner Lucas,
No.
Mayor Rainey.
No.
Mayor, at this point, the motion fails,
Okay,
or fails to carry. So at that point, there would be no opportunity to consider 10B.
okay. Moving to 11A.
Ordinance 2020-22, an ordinance of the City of Fairview to annex the section of Taylor Road between the current city limits at 7330 Taylor Road and the northwest boundary of the intersection of Taylor Road and DeMoss Lane.
Do we have information?
Yes, Mayor, members of the commission, I'll explain this. There's a section of Taylor Road that currently exists, and for our purposes, or purposes of this discussion, is the city recognizes the section of Taylor Road between Highway 100 and 7330 Taylor Road as within the city limits. Williamson County recognizes that the section of Taylor Road between 7330 Taylor Road and DeMoss Lane to be within the city limits. The city of Fairview has not so far ever annexed that section of road. In communications with Williamson County, and their discussions made sense that the majority of homes or properties on Taylor Road between 7330 and now DeMoss Lane have been annexed into the city limits of the city of Fairview. So based on that discussion, and to clarify the property tax map and to ensure that partnership or the management of that road and the growth in that area with the county, the request we have before you tonight is to annex the section of Taylor Road between 7330 Taylor Road and the intersection of DeMoss Lane.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
First and second. Any discussion? Ms. Johnson?
Commissioner Lucas,
Aye.
Commissioner Burks,
Aye.
Commissioner Dawson,
Aye.
Mayor Rainey.
Aye. 11B,
Resolution 23-20, a resolution authorizing the City of Fairview to participate in the Public Entity Partners Property Conservation Matching Grant Program.
Mayor Rainey, members of the commission, the item you have before you tonight is a request for our participation in this matching grant program. The discussions we've had with Public Entity Partners is that we are eligible for, I believe, $4,000 in grant money. That money is to be used to secure city properties effectively. Our anticipated use for this, if we were to get the grant, is to consider the fencing of the 25-acre out parcel on Dice-Lampley Road. We have some storage uses for that property out there. We've also talked about public safety center and some other things. We need to secure that property as best we can. So our intended use to present to the Board of Commissioners is to use this grant, if we get it, to assist us in the cost of fencing that property.
thank you. A motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Ms. Johnson?
Commissioner Burks,
Aye.
Commissioner Lucas,
Aye.
Commissioner Dawson,
Aye.
Mayor Rainey.
Aye. Communications from Mayor and Commissioners. Commissioner Burks.
I would just like to congratulate Mayor Rainey. I know this is not a position that you wanted or ever planned on having, but I know that you'll do a very good job for the city. And thank you for being willing to do so. My thoughts and prayers go out to those in the city right now that are struggling, that are having hard times. Always know that you have friends, and we'll be there for you. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Burks. Commissioner Lucas?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I too want to echo what Commissioner Burke said. It's been a rough week, to say the least. Also want to remind everybody that early voting is open now. I know yesterday they had record numbers, not just in Tennessee, but in Williamson County and even at Fairview. So get out and vote early if you can. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Commissioner Dawson?
No comment, Mayor.
I have released a news release to the press that I will asking everyone to please consider, if they considered voting for me, to please vote for someone else who is running. We have lots of great people who are seeking to continue their service, and we have lots of great people who are stepping up to serve. So with that said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.